Cabernet on Saturday, Cabernet on a Saturday. Yeah, Cabernet on Saturday. Yeah, yeah.
So special.
Yeah. Cabernet on Saturdays. I'm feeling
Teezy, talk. Teezy, talk. Teezy, talk. Teezy, talk.
All right, welcome back to Teezy Talks, y'all. I have a special episode 101 with DJ Gemini Gilly. What's up?
What's up?
I'm glad you were able to make it today. So I really wanted to let you know how dope I think you are. Since the first time I met you, it was at I know it was at Poorman's for sure.
Okay, yep.
So I don't know if you remember, but I don't know if that was the first time we met. But I do remember when I had came in there and you was DJing and I had asked you for the mic. And it was so funny. You was like, no. Dog, I was cracking up because I was like, let me see the mic. Because, you know, I was from hosting and shit. So I was like, let me see the mic. You was like, mm-mm. I was
You
like,
don't know the amount of people that be like, man, can I get the mic real quick? Let me shout somebody up. And they start like going on a tangent about something. And I'm like, man, we spinning. So I didn't know.
It might have been March Madness.
That sounds like something
Yeah, definitely. But yeah. But I want to thank you for taking time out your busy schedules and coming on Teezy Talks today. The fellas couldn't be here. They only could be here on this week on Friday. So
okay.
I was like, no, she's not available on Friday. So we go. I'm gonna have to do one-on-one with her, but which is cool. That's cool. With
That's
me.
cool.
So, I also want to say that I do agree with you that Belly is a whack movie.
Come on. Thank you.
Belly is a whack movie. Not like exactly everything you said as far as the minister thing. Yeah, and then Nas just automatically going to Africa and the minister, DMX shooting the minister. What was the reason behind everything?
None of that stuff made sense.
No,
I would die on that hill. They had a poll on Facebook and they were saying paid in full or Belly. And it was a lot of people saying Belly. I'm like, hold on now. Overpaid in full?
I just watched Paid in Full. Great movie.
Classic.
Yes.
Plot makes sense, obviously based on like a true story, but no holes in the plot. There was so many holes in Belly's plot. I feel like I probably watched the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, like no. But the second time I was like, I'm gonna give it another chance.
Yeah.
It's a no still.
Yeah, and it's dark. It's like the look of it. I know it was filmed a while ago, but it's still like I just watched Paid in Full and I can see that movie being like made right now. Like, that's a good movie. It's a great movie.
Even with it being based in like an earlier time too. So
yeah, but I do agree. Do you watch a lot of movies or a lot of shows?
I'm a TV show girly. I'm a crime show junkie for real.
Yes. Okay.
Documentaries, anything true crime, anything where somebody faking like they solving a case based on a real crime. That's
I love TV shows. If they was here, they'd be like, "Oh, don't get her started with this TV show." I love TV show. Like, do you like SVU?
Yes.
I
like SVU. I like sitcoms. Like I grew up. I'm the youngest, the baby, and I have like older siblings. So like I grew up watching like the Martins and the Singles, like stuff like that too. So I'll go back and watch like classic TV shows. Like I was just rewatching Moesha for the 50-11th time.
Yeah.
So
how old are you?
I'm 20. I'll be 29 this year.
Oh, okay. So you're fairly young. You're pretty young.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm the youngest of my family too, with older brothers as well.
Yeah.
I think my oldest brother is like 50 something. So,
okay.
But yeah, so I had seen that you said that I was reading in your bio and stuff, and you said that you used to take your brother's CDs and all of their records and stuff like that. And, and steal them and listen to their music. So what type of music would you say that you grew up on?
So I grew up, I do have two older brothers, but I grew up primarily with my oldest brother. Okay. And he's 13 years older than me. Mm-hmm. So like Get Rich or Die Trying, really anything G Unit for real. anything Jay-Z. So I'm a big Jay-Z fan, like to this day.
Yeah. What's your favorite album from Jay-Z?
Oh man, it's between In My Lifetime Volume 1,
okay,
and The Blueprint, for sure.
I'm the Blueprint.
Yeah,
Jay-Z is my favorite rapper. Actually.
Really?
Yes, I know that Wayne is yours.
Wayne is. Yeah. This the thing. It depends on my mood for real, because like it can interchange. Like I always say, like Wayne is my go, but Jay-Z is also my go. But I feel like it's hard. It depends on what my mood is, but like they definitely neck and neck. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I love Jay. Jay is like my number one.
Yeah.
So like, if you had your top 5, who in your top 5?
Top 5, definitely Jay-Z, Wayne. Huge Kanye fan, like pre-Kardashian era. Okay. I would even go as far to say like maybe up to like The Life of Pablo. So that was like 2016. Trying to think of what
Jay-Z, Wayne, Kanye.
For real.
Okay.
And that's like artistry, and I actually like him as an artist too. Yeah. Just rappers?
No, whatever. I
listen to a lot of J. Cole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that 5? Yeah, that's 5. Okay. So where are you with the Kendrick versus Drake beef?
Kendrick.
You like
all that, yeah. It's a Gemini connection, for real. Yeah. Like I'm very much so, you thought you was gonna do this to me? I'm doing this. Not like us. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So I feel like your birthday? I'm June 10th.
Okay, June 10th.
Yep. So all
right. Well, I'm not a Kendrick fan.
Really?
No, I'm not. I've never have been, even before the beef. I know. Wow. A lot of people find that shocking, especially because I like rap. So a lot of people be like, I can't believe you like Kendrick, but no, I don't. I never have.
For real?
For real. Like,
what is it about him?
I guess it's just like, I feel like he don't make the music for me.
Okay.
Like that I can actually listen to, except for like just recently.
Okay.
Like, for example, when he hopped on the song with Future.
Oh, like
that was like,
and I know you're a big Future fan, so you really fan. Like, hold on now.
So I was like, what the hell is going on here? So I was like taken back by that because I love Drake.
Okay,
but I love Future too. But then I couldn't believe Future was allowing Kendrick to do that, and then I didn't know Future had beef with Drake, and it was just too deep. Everything went too far for me. But that was the first time I was like, dang. And then I know the whole Kendrick verse. So like,
come on now. You like
I did like that verse though. But then listening to the latest album, what is it? GNX. GNX. So I'm like, okay, this is an album that you can actually play.
Okay.
This is an album you can play. Like the other stuff is like, I get it. Like some of it be kind of woke though.
Okay.
It's like Black History Month for me.
So I will say that I feel like that about To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah.
That's one of those albums where it's like super classic.
Yeah.
But like it definitely give me like Negro spiritual vibe. Yeah. Like I need to be in the mood to listen to
But I will listen to them.
Yeah.
Like once, but then I'll be like, it ain't for me. Yeah. And I'll be like, well, it just ain't for me. But I feel like Drake be making music that's like for me.
Okay, that makes sense. That does make sense.
When it came to the beef, though, I understand who won. Yeah. I just don't like to too much say. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, I'm not a Kendrick fan at all.
Dang.
So you taught yourself to DJ.
Yes.
In 2018, you decided like, okay, what made you say I'm finna buy this turntable or whatever it's called, and I'm about to just go ahead and teach myself this shit?
I needed an outlet. Like I was in grad school. I had a very like traumatic, like racist experience within like my school. Like
what school did you go to?
I went to UW-Madison.
Okay.
So, but within my like specific school, I was in like the School of Social Work, and you would think, they're trying to help and try to push you, not even push you ahead, but like just help you out, when you need help.
Yeah.
It was very much so not like that. Yeah. I had an internship that was like 45 minutes away from my house, and my car had flooded right before grad school. You would think they would be like, hey, let's try to figure out a way to place you somewhere that's closer where you can just take the bus or like Uber until you figure something out. Hell no. It was like, you better figure that out and figure it out quick. So I was getting up at like 4:00 in the morning on days that I had to go to my internship, taking a cab to the UW like Union just so I could catch a Badger bus to Johnson Creek Outlets because that was the closest place to where my field internship was. Then I was catching an Uber out there to my internship just so I can get there by 8:00 in the morning. And then at the end of the day, I was there till like 4:00. I would turn around and do that to come back home, but reverse. So I was literally getting up at 4 a.m. just to get there by 8, and then I wasn't getting back home when I was doing in reverse down there till like 8 at night, based on the bus schedule. So it was, and I was doing that like 3 times a week. And I was telling them like, man, like, I'm telling them like, this is like really taking a mental toll on me, like doing all of this, then having to go to school and deal with people who say they want to do social work the right way, but like all their ideologies is like not meshing up with how social work should be done, especially in Black and brown communities. Yeah. So I wasn't fucking with that at all. And I really needed an outlet. And ever since I was in like high school, people would invite me to parties to like hook my phone up and just play music. Yeah. And
they liked your playlist.
Yeah, like, and I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I'm just putting in songs that I like, and I think other people were like in a playlist and hooking it up and putting it on shuffle. Yeah. And like, I don't care what it was. If it was a slow song in between some twerking songs, we just press next. We go to the next song. So like that was like my first, I guess, introduction in like crowd control for real. Yeah. But I seen an article about women DJs while I was in one of my classes, and I was like, I don't want to try this. Like, let me at least.
This was in college.
I was in grad school. Okay. Yep. Like Okay. So I literally left. It was like a 3-hour class. The 3-hour class was done, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the Guitar Center and go at least let me try it out. You know, let me buy something cheap and like try to see like if there's something I'm interested in. I was on winter break and I don't even know how this happened. I was on winter break for damn near a month and a half. Yeah. I think I had it like exempted out of some exams, so like I was out of school 2 weeks earlier than like damn near everybody else. And I was teaching myself how to DJ on YouTube, literally just looking up how to DJ. Like once I was learning different terms, okay, like how to beat match, which is like making sure the songs like basically transition well. Okay. Like I'm looking up, okay, what is this? What is that? Like I have a band background. I was in band ever since I was in the 3rd grade. I was in like the drum line. So I know like the structure of music.
What did you play?
I was a percussionist. So like drums in high school, I played the cymbals. Like I was in drum line. So I did like the whole 9. So I had like music structure background. Already, okay. And I knew what I wanted like stuff to sound like in my head. Ever since I was a kid, like I would hear a song on the radio and automatically in my head, I would be thinking of a song like, oh, this song will go good with this song. I'm like 6 and 7 years old, not knowing even what I'm doing up here. So like, I knew what I wanted it to sound like, but my thing was like, okay, how do I get what's up here, like onto the decks, like, and like figuring out how to do it. So taught myself over like a month and a half, and I was like, dang, like this don't really sound too bad. It sounds pretty good. Like this can go somewhere. So I just kept making mixes, and I had my first gig like 9 months into like teaching myself. And after that gig, I was like, this is what I want to do. Like it's not even that I didn't feel joy with social work. I just felt like I wasn't doing social work the way I wanted to do it. Okay. I'm all for the people. I'm all for our people. I don't like red tape. I don't like feeling like people got to jump through hoops in order to get resources. Like everybody need help. You know what I'm saying? Like we living right now in a society where it's like, you know, it helps to help somebody else, you know, lift as you climb. Yeah. And I feel like what the type of social work I was doing was like, I'm like, okay, like I know you need help, but okay, I need you to sign this form. Then I need you to go to this class in order to get like your rent paid. Yeah. Well, if you need your rent paid, you probably don't want to go to no damn class and jump through no hoops and do all of this stuff. And where, you know, it was just stuff where I was just like, I'm tired of it. And I felt like DJing was like my way of doing social work my way, like bringing people together with music. It's sometimes I'm DJing in certain places and I'm like, damn, like I would never see these people all hanging out together, like just on the regular. But like I'm DJing right now, all these people are like in the same room. So
did you ever do the social work?
Yeah, I did.
You worked in it?
Yes. Like, I graduated, I got my master's, and I was in a work payback program. So UW-Madison paid for my master's in exchange for me, like, working in the state of Wisconsin for as long as they paid for my master's. So I only had to do 1 year of grad school, and I only had to work for 1 year. I quit my job on my 1 year anniversary, and I got the email on that day saying that, like, my work payback was done and like my requirement was fulfilled. And on that day, I had put my 2 weeks in. 2 weeks before that, on that day, I was out of there.
And you was full-time DJing after that?
After that, so not all the way. Like, that was like my first stint of being full-time. It was literally in the middle of the pandemic. It was August of 2020. So like, nothing is open, but I'm like, man, I'm gonna jump off the porch with it. Like, I'm still about to do it. So I was doing like, that was when virtual gigs was kind of like the thing. Like, I was doing that. I was like on Facebook Live. People was like tipping me. So like, it was cool, but it wasn't stable, especially with it being the pandemic and nothing was open. So that there was no chance for me to even DJ in front of people because it was so many stipulations. At one point, I'm DJing on Water Street. At one point, they was like, nobody can stand up.
Yeah, we couldn't.
I'm like, hold on.
We had to sit down.
Everybody got to sit down.
That true. And they said we had to sit in our seat.
Everybody had to sit down. I'm talking
like this foul.
We had Portland's, and it's like they got every seat possible in there. And like, you know how like the size of Portland's, like, they keep that open area open for a reason because people dance and do their thing. No. It was like, everybody got to sit y'all ass in the seat. So it was hard. I ain't gonna say it was hard, but it definitely was a challenge to like do my job. Because at that time, it's like, I don't even want to play nothing that's too cracking because like now I'm pissing off the owners and the management who like, hey, if you play something that's too cracking and people get up, we gonna get a fine. Yeah. So it's like, it was juggling like the audience and juggling management. It was hard at that time. But that was my like first stint of being full time, and I did that for like maybe 5 or 6 months.
What was your first DJ gig?
I DJ'd at a bar in Madison called the Atwood. And I had opened for a DJ. His name is DJ M. White. And I was nervous as hell. I didn't know what I was doing. It was like an R&B night. And I had never even went out for real before. Like, when I did, I was going out, like, I probably had went out maybe 3 or 4 times prior to that. That just wasn't like what I was doing at the time. No. Like,
so you weren't even going out?
No.
How did you know what they wanted to hear?
I did it. That's the thing.
I'm like, wait, what? I had to go out.
I had no clue. I literally was just playing like what was on my heart. What I was just like, hey, like, I really like these songs. I really fucking hope y'all also like these songs so that we can have a good night. I went on and like I started opening, like playing like some Ari Lennox and like Masego and stuff. Like kind of some like alternative R&B a little bit. And they was
what kind of crowd was it?
It was like older, like kind of mixed, and they was kind of vibing with it. So I was like, okay. But at a certain point, I was like, okay, like let me test some other stuff out. Yeah. And that type of R&B night that was going on up there was kind of like, okay, we playing mostly R&B. Like, we still getting it cracking a little bit. So I'm playing like Wipe Me Down and stuff in between like some of the songs. And they was really like fucking with me. And I'm like, oh, like, y'all really like me? And my time was over, and I'm like going to the bar to grab something. They like, no, like, when you going back home? Like, are y'all going back to back? And I was like, that was it. Like, this is my first time even doing this for real. So I was happy with the feedback that I was getting because I'm like, dang, like, this is my first time really doing this in front of people. But like, I was recording mixes and stuff before, and I would have people comment on the mixes that I didn't even know, like, no, this fire. Like, this is really good. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm on to something. So, yeah.
I thought it was dope that you actually video recorded your journey.
Yeah.
Because when I saw that, I came under your post, and I was like, no, this is dope. Like, this is giving, like, Kanye, like, him and,
the Genius. Cootie.
Yeah, Cootie.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, dude, you can actually make your own documentary one day, like, with this, because you got the whole journey. Like, you was in your room, like,
for real.
Okay, this is where I started. Like, I'm going to share that with y'all so y'all can see, like, it was dope to see, though. Like,
it was crazy because
it's crazy. She really recorded her whole journey.
I always wanted to like do YouTube, like even as a kid, but I just was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. But when I started DJing, my biggest thing was like, I I want to get my reps in, and I want to be able to hear myself. But I also want to see myself to see like, okay, like if especially at the very beginning, if it's something that I did that was good, okay, like what did I do with my hands, or like what button did I push? So I would record myself like a lot. So going back through my phone and I'm seeing all these videos, I'm like, man, like for my DJ anniversary, I'm gonna just put together like my journey so far. So it was at the end when it was all done and I rewatched it, I'm like, dang, like I did all of this in 6 years. And I can remember this very first video where I just first bought my controller December 8th or December 9th of 2018.
Yeah, like, and you had all of that full documentary of her video. And I was like, I can't believe this. You know, you're so young. Yeah. And you had all of that already done. So just imagine like now you opened up for like SZA. Yeah. You done did Summerfest. Yeah. Who else you opened up for?
I did the Kamala Harris rally.
Yeah, the rally for the vice president, y'all.
That was crazy. I opened for Ja Rule. Just did the all black party with Rick Ross and Tweet. Yeah. So that stuff has been real like crazy for me to grasp because when I'm a fan of music and I'm a fan of an artist, like I'm really a fan. Yeah. Like, and this is crazy because like out of all the people that I would open for, the one where I was just like, oh my God, was Tweet. Like, Tweet. Yes.
No, I fucked with Tweet heavy. I wanted to go to the black party for Tweet.
Like for real.
Oh my was my shit. Like, and then when she was with Missy and the Takeaway, the song, come on all them songs, like that was my songs. Like I was like, I don't think people know how good Tweet was.
So good. I went to the 20th anniversary Southern Hummingbird City Winery show literally
in Chicago
last year.
I missed it. I was salty about that because I'm like, I should have went to see Tweet, and that's one thing I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna be not going to these concerts because I'm by myself.
Oh no, go! I gotta go. If it's one thing I'm gonna go to by myself, it's a concert. For sure. Like if you be like, oh man, like I don't know if I'm gonna be able. Oh, okay, that's cool. If you ain't gonna be able, I'm gonna go
for sure.
I saw Stevie Wonder solo. Like I had a great time. Yeah, I've been to like music festivals by myself. Friends at concerts. Yeah, like ain't nobody fighting or doing too much
at Summerfest. Everybody was my friend.
Yeah,
the white people was saying nigga though. See, they was rapping Migos and stuff. That I was like, all right.
So let me tell you something.
I'm uncomfortable.
Let me tell you something that's funny. When I'm in like majority white crowds sometimes and like I'm playing like hip hop or even like light hip hop or whatever, like sometimes I'm turning the volume down to see like, is you saying it? I'm looking too, like, are you saying it or are you not?
Most of them will.
Like I've had a few instances where like I would do it and I would hear it, but I would see other people like turning around like, like you better chill out. Yeah. So
yeah. Well, I think it's dope that you opened up for all of them people. Like, how do you feel being like? Do people be thinking like do you feel like a celebrity? Do people feel like you're a celebrity?
People will.
I know how they do me.
People will come up to me and like say like, dude, like you just don't understand. Like you did this or you did that or like you a celebrity. Yeah. And to me, I just be like, what? Like I don't feel that way, and maybe it's just because like. Outside of DJing, like I live a very, I don't want to say regular life, but like I like simplicity. Like I'm not going, if I'm not working, I'm rarely kind of out and about for real. Unless I'm like going to support another DJ or like I'm on, like me and my boyfriend are doing date night at R&B or something like that.
Her boyfriend is a DJ as well, y'all. Yes, so I'm gonna ask her about that too. How does that work? How does it work? You guys both being DJs.
It's interesting for sure because like we both do the same things, but in some capacities, like we do different kind of things. Like he DJs. We do some of the same gigs together. Like we'll do like the Trey Hotel together. We DJ apartments together. We've done other things where we DJ together, but like our stuff separately sometimes is like kind of different too. Like he'll fuck the club up for real, and like that's not my like thing.
Like room 7.
Yeah, he'll fuck room 7 up like every Saturday, and like for me that would be a thing where I would be like I don't know if I could do that. And it's really because it just takes so much high energy and like, you know, and it be some things like where I'm doing where he like, dang, it's not that I can't do the club. It's just like I would feel out of place doing the club, if that makes sense.
Would you? So if somebody asked you to do a club every Saturday, would you take that gig?
No.
You would say no?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, do you turn down gigs?
Yeah. Like, right now, I don't do, like, birthday parties, baby showers, like, all of that. I'm done. Because
she is out birthday parties and baby showers.
People always message me.
Some people that do all it, just don't turn down nothing.
I'm not doing it. And it's not even because, like, I don't care about the people that's, like, having these things. It's, like, close people to me that be like, man, like, I don't do weddings anymore. Like, it's people that be like, man, like, could you please DJ my wedding? Like,
is it because you got to do the extra stuff that come with it?
Yes, I don't.
Bringing out the bride.
It's, first of all, for a wedding, like, I'm with a family all day. Yeah. Like, all day. For, like, they want the DJ to, like, and rightfully so. I'm not saying, like, DJ shouldn't be doing it, but, like, they'll have us, like, doing announcements and then, like, hey, like, we want you to play all these songs in this order and do this. And, like, the type of DJ I am, I like to, like, feel out the crowd and, like, see, you know, is this the right time to play this? Where it's, like, they're at weddings and, like, you making me play it. And then, like, if it fall flat, it look like I'm ass. Like, I'm not ass, they ass. That's what they want me to do.
Right.
So it's like one of them things. I'm more of a like, okay, let me feel the crowd out. Let me see if this is like what, you know, they want to hear. So that's why I don't do that anymore. And on top of that, it's not that I don't like taking requests, but I feel like people can be very demanding with their requests. Like, people will come up to me like, man, can you play this song next? I'm like, I'm playing a song as fast as hell right now. You think I'm going to sit here and mess the vibe up and, like, slow it down?
Most DJs hate that anyway.
I hate that. Because also people just are some people can be so entitled. Yeah. Of, like, okay, well, like, you here for me. Like, actually, like, no, I'm not. Yeah. I don't care. And I'm going to tell anybody who, you know, would come up to me and try to be rude, like, I'm not here for you. But, like, people like that, I just be like, hey, I'm not taking a request, you know. But yeah.
But do you like to do, so you did Miramar?
Yeah, so I'll do like R&B nights, like, right now, like, my sole focus, at least at the moment for real, is sports. It's heavy sports season. I DJ for the Bucks, so, like, we literally are in the thick of the season right now. I may have like 3 or 4 games a month, and
the Badgers too, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I'm the DJ for the Badgers women's basketball, and I may have a game every single week. And I have to drive up there and drive back, and I have to be up there 2 hours before the game start until the end of the game.
So, like, did somebody refer you? Did they hear you?
For the Badger game, I got referred. And I was just kind of filling in for the main DJ at the time. And then the main DJ started doing like other stuff, like traveling, and it was just, you know, like not fitting into their schedule. So then I took over. So I like it because I used to hoop. Like, a lot of people
You used to hoop too?
Like, what's crazy is, like, people who know me before I was DJing, they still associate me with that. And, like, it's hard for them to grasp that I'm a DJ. And people who know me, like, from DJing, it's hard for them to grasp that I used to hoop.
You hooped in high school?
Yes. Like, I've hooped, like, my whole life. My dad is a basketball coach. He coached for, like, 30-some years. Like, so grew up, like, around it my whole life. Hooped in high school. Got a scholarship to go to a junior college to hoop. And decided I don't want to do that. Like, I want to go to school and be a regular kid and just do academics. I've been doing sports my whole life. I played basketball from maybe I was 3 or 4 years old all the way up until high school.
What made you say you ain't want to do it no more?
It was like I never really had a chance sometimes to, like, really, like, to really be regular. Like, I'm going to school, and then after school, I'm going home to do my homework. Like, no, it was. And I went to Rufus King for high school and hooped there, and, like, basketball there for boys and girls is, like, very, like, we went to the weight room. We got 5 a.m. practice. We got practice on Saturdays. We got practice right after school. I was at school during daylight saving time. I ain't see no damn sunlight. Like, I'm getting to school super early, and then I'm not getting out of practice till 5:30, almost 6 o'clock, going home. And it was like, I don't want to do that.
I did not know you hooped.
Yeah, like, yeah. But it's like, I didn't want to do that. I'm like, I want to be a regular kid. I want to be able to go to class. I want to be able to go back to my dorm, do my homework, and just be like a regular kid. Plus, on top of that, with being a student athlete, like at the time in high school, like I don't even feel like I had enough discipline to like stick it through, especially at a junior college. Because eventually, like you done at a junior college and you got to transfer to another school. I couldn't even wrap my head around that. I was like, I'm done with it. I just want to.
Was your dad upset?
Pissed.
Really?
Pissed. But this is the thing, and I always like say this. My dad helped get a lot of, he coached girls basketball primarily. He helped a lot of like people get in school. So like I always tell him, like, you know, that may not have been like my path and my journey. Like I figured it out on my own. Yeah. But like you helped so many other people who did not have a father figure. Like you were their father figure. You helped them like get to school. Like you talked to the coaches. Like you was on their ass like you was their dad. Like you helped raise so many other people. Like it's okay that it didn't work out for me. Yeah. So I think me and him are like, we clearly have an understanding now because that was so long ago. But I can definitely tell like he was pissed. Yeah. Because he was like, he wanted you to stay hooping. Yeah. But like now, like my nephew was in high school. So like now he gets to do the whole thing with him. Yeah. So it's cool to. He got other people. Yeah. He like, So it's cool to see him still be able to be in his element. But for me, I was like, hell no. I just want to be, a kid. Like, not even a kid because I was an adult, but like, I want to be regular where I don't feel like I got to get up at the crack of dawn to like go weightlift and do all this stuff for something that like I'm not going to do as a professional. So.
What else do you do right now besides DJing? You do anything else? Like you got any hobbies or anything you do besides DJing, or you just DJ?
Like, event planning, because like I do gyms only.
What about gyms only?
I do gyms only.
What made you start gyms only?
Man, I was going out, and not even like just in Milwaukee, but like I would go like just to different spots, like just all over. Like when I went to Atlanta, I went for one music fest, and like I'm hearing DJ just play like the same stuff. Like,
I was gonna get to that.
Yeah.
How you feel? Wait, I'll wait. Let's do gyms only first, and then I was gonna get to that playlist shit because I am, woo, child. Don't get me started with this playlist.
Let's start with why. I was hearing a lot of the DJs like all over. I feel like it's like a universal thing where it's like DJs are playing the same stuff, and I wanted to be able to play the stuff that I listen to like at home. I'm listening to like in the car. Like these are like my album cuts or like my favorite, like some of my favorite songs that like I never get a chance to hear out. I want to be able to like play those songs and do that and hear that stuff. So it was more so like I need an outlet and I want to play, you know, or other things. But I also realized like, okay, I don't want to just be the only DJ for gyms only. You know, I want other DJs to be able to be creative as they can be.
Oh, okay. And like, so you brought in other DJs. Yeah,
so I normally will have like a couple other guest DJs. I also have a co-curator, and me and him are DJs, and he's also a photographer too. So like he takes all the photos for gyms only. But like for a lot of them, like me and him will go back and forth. Like,
what's his name?
His name is Freakish Nerd. Okay. That's his like
have artist name. Have I been to his event before?
At
what is that place called? It was at a random place, and then it was an upstairs, and he played. Upstairs. It was. I think I did go to one of his events before. It was taco trucks outside. What is the name of the place? Dang, I can't think of it.
It got an upstairs?
Yeah, it was like a nice little living area, like a little. I don't know. I feel like I heard of Freakish Nerd before I went to. Do he rap?
No, he don't rap. He do photography. So like, I know he do a lot of stuff for like brands in the city and like Candy Hemp. He'll take like their photos and stuff like that. But like, I really brought. What's crazy is like I brought him on just to take photos for the first one because like I was just like, all right. Nick was like, man, get a photographer and like capture this stuff so like you can, you know, see this and like take this anywhere. Like you could take this footage and show people like this is what the vibe that I'm creating and like you know doing. I was like, I never even thought about getting a photographer. My thing that I was gonna do, I was gonna have some disposable cameras and I was gonna let whoever pick them up, take the photos, pictures, leave them, and I was gonna develop them.
Okay.
And he was like, okay, yeah, I hear you. That's a good idea. But you need a for real like photographer to like capture stuff that you're not gonna be able to see or that other people may, you know, they may just be fucking around with the camera or like not leave it. Now I don't got the footage. Yeah. He like, no, you need it. So I hired him to do it and the pictures turned out amazing. The way that he shoots Black and brown people, like he really captured like the essence of what's really going on. And that's important to me. Like I'm very intentional with everything that I do behind Gems Only, whether it's like how we market ourselves, what we look like, what our photos look like, what our social media presence looks like. So having him
very creative too.
Thank you.
I thought it was dope. I really liked the seat at the table. Thing. I was like, this is dope.
That was a great event. That's a part of our sub series called No Skips. It's like an album book club. So what we did for the seat at the table one specifically was we partnered with Black Space and Black Space like developed some discussion questions based on a seat at the table, and it was broken down in different sections like social justice, like self-identity, just a whole bunch of different stuff. And we had discussion questions paired with the album. We played the album in full from top to bottom. And
the Solange album, y'all.
Seat at the table. Solange is a seat at the table. We played it from top to bottom. Chef Imani, I think his Instagram is mentionable, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Chef Imani cooked a Creole inspired brunch and everybody got a chance to eat and like just kind of fellowship for free. Then we answered questions at the end and it was amazing. Like that that is how I want to do social work. Like that is how I want to bring people together. We sharing a meal. Yeah, we sharing a meal. We got a nice album playing in the background. We finna talk about the album. And it was interesting to see different people's perspective on the album because when A Seat at the Table came out, I was in college and I was at a very transitional stage in my life. And hearing the album was just so like therapeutic for me. And I can remember that. Yeah. But to see,
I loved it.
Yeah,
I love Master P.
Listen, same narrator. Come on,
I was like, this is so dope. Like he had me so inspired.
Yes,
I was like, dog, I'm able to do whatever I need to do because Master P is on this album, letting us know we can do. That man really was speaking on there. And Solange was she won so many awards and stuff like that, and it was a great album.
Yes, and it was so pivotal for me, and I was like, you know what? Like, this is the way I want to do social work. Like, so it was amazing. I was crying at the end because everybody was just like, man, we had such a good time. Yeah. I'm very, very, very heavily inspired by Issa Rae. And somebody said that the event reminded them of an episode of Insecure. Okay. And I was like, there we go. Like that. And that's why, like, I'm just so intentional because I want people to get exactly what I'm putting out. Like, yes, I do want you to take home with you, like, a lot of people kept talking about, like, man, like, we need more spaces for Black women to get together and, like, do stuff like this and just be able to talk and, like, you know, just kind of hang out, like, carefree. Yeah. And I was just like, dang, like, that was what this was for. Because the event was specifically for Black women. Like, I feel like there's not a lot of spaces where, like, we are centered, we are celebrated. And that's, like, what Gems Only is about. It's all about, like, centering and celebrating Black and Indigenous and other people of color. But that one specifically, that was strictly for us. Yeah. And I thought that it was super cool. So I definitely want to come on for us. So
what was the last Gem Only event you did?
We did a New Year's Eve one. Okay. And that was nice. We are trying to work on and are experimenting between like bigger events and more intimate events. Yeah. We don't want to just throw like our 200 to 300 like person party because like I recognize because I don't even want to be around 200 300 people all the time.
I'm trying to get out of the party zone, but it is really hard for people for me, it's hard for people to support the intimate events for me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Well, I did a women's live pod for Women's Month last year. Okay. And that was really good. Very intimate. I really like that. But like I just want to have stuff here. Like instead of always having parties. And I get it. Like people know us for throwing hype parties. I know, but I'm like, y'all, we older. Like let's do little intimate stuff. So I'm I make the wine now. So I'm trying to do like wine clubs, and I'm trying to do like the sip and paint, but it's kind of hard to get people to get in the intimate spaces, and I know,
and I don't know why.
I prefer a more intimate invite kind of thing, even if it ain't invite only. And I don't know if it's people just don't want to pay the money or what, but you have to pay to play. Yeah,
especially with what's being provided and like the experience that like you have for like throwing and curating events. Like you know what you're supposed to be charging based on your expertise, based on what's being provided. Right. So I feel like sometimes there is a disconnect. Our Halloween party, we had over 300 people there, and like dead cracking. Like it was so many people there. And the tickets sold pretty fast. Our more intimate events, like they sold out, but it was one of those things where I feel like people just like if the tickets are still there at the end, like I'll grab them. And I was like, no, grab them now so I can stop panicking and trying to figure out if y'all can come out. And I feel like I don't know if it's like a Milwaukee thing, but I noticed that with other stuff too.
I don't know, they last minute they walk up and they don't believe it unless everybody else is there. And I hate that. I'm like,
that's
I don't
really
do
what it
that.
is.
If I want to go to something, I'm going.
Yes.
That's just how I feel. I don't care if other people got their tickets or not. I just feel like if I want to go to something, I'm gonna go. But they don't do that here. No.
Our stuff will sell out like
I know your stuff be sold out quick though.
But what's crazy, our bigger events, people will wait to the last minute. We will sell like 100 to 150 tickets in 3 days. The last 3 days.
Oh, okay.
So like the previous 3 days, I'm like, dang, we still got 150 tickets to sell. Like 150, that's a big number. And I just start getting bing, 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 bing. Yeah. People starting to buy because it's closer to the day. And it's like, it used to make me very anxious because I'm like, dang. But now I'm just like, listen.
I still get like that.
Yeah.
I can't help it. And I was been doing it for 8 years.
Yeah. And
I still get like, well, they ain't buying no tickets. They not coming.
Yeah.
And then at the last minute.
I
know that's what they're going to do. Yes. It's just like, even for our ugly sweater party, I do that for every party we have. I'm like, all right. And we don't usually charge for our parties.
Yeah.
So I'm like, y'all, when we charge, okay, just pay the money.
Don't say no when we start charging. We gave y'all opportunity coming for free.
For real. Yeah. We used to throw all free. Well, we still do throw a lot of free events, but we used to throw all free events. But yeah.
I also don't think people understand like the time that takes into like planning an event. It's not just, like we call someplace and we just said we're gonna have a party. Like, no, we gotta market. Yeah. We have to push it. We have to plan out like what the flow of the night is gonna look like. I'm figuring out like, okay, who should be DJing? I make all of the graphics for Gems Only. Like other than our flyers, but like any like we always have rules that come out, or not really rules, but like guidelines, like basically like a things you should know before you come to Gems Only. I make like all of that stuff. Like that stuff take time to do, and I don't think people understand like how much time that stuff really takes. So they be thinking like, oh, it should be free. Like, no, like you said, you gotta pay to play. Yeah, like, it really costs to attend stuff like that.
Everything costs money that we putting into this stuff. Like, you don't get to come to everything for free.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to attend one of your events one time.
Come on.
Yeah, I got to come to one. Because honestly, every time I see it, I'm like, this looks so dope. I think the first one I seen was, I think you did the rooftop.
Oh yeah, so that was the very first.
Okay, that was the first one I seen, and I was like, okay,
that was the first one.
This girl got something going. Yeah, she got something going for herself.
We had over 500, and that was a free event within 3 days, within 9 days. We sold not sold, but we had 500 plus RSVPs. Yeah, and that was crazy to me because the only reason
I came to that one.
I believe you were there.
You DJ.
Yes.
Yeah, because I did end up, somebody sent me their ticket.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was crazy to me because I had always wanted to throw my own events. Like, I have a book like during the pandemic where I was writing down a whole bunch of like ideas and stuff. I've always wanted to throw my own events because I felt like, okay, I want to be able to just kind of do me. I don't want to operate within the constraints of like the venue or like I don't want to.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, like I want to be able to be like, hey, pull up because of the vibe that I'm setting, not because of the vibe that you're used to from like when I'm playing other places. Because a Gems Only set is going to be totally different from anything that I'm doing because like this is my shit. I'm playing whatever I want to play, and like what's crazy is like people really be vibing with it, and it's like it's a very like cool experience. But yeah, like what I do at Gems Only is totally different because of like I have to operate within the constraints of like where I'm at. And sometimes it ain't even just the venue, it really sometimes be the audience. Like when we talk about the universal playlist.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about it. Okay. So I am big on DJs. Yeah. So I don't really play about like how when I go out. I'm not one of them people that can't pay attention, cannot not hear what the DJ is playing. Like people be partying and kicking and I'll be just looking like, what the hell is this? You know, I don't care how much I had to drink. I don't care what's going on. If the DJ is playing like whack music, I cannot help but say like, what is he playing or what is she playing? Like I hate it. And I've actually been in it like long periods of time before. Like it's been bad before. Like I just had to deal with it before because of where I was at. But I didn't have a choice. But
that's the worst low key. I know.
Like, yeah, it was just like, all right, well. But I've been in, you know, a lot of these places and I've heard DJs and they play the same set play. I'm like, how is a DJ doing this with all the music in the world? How are you playing a playlist?
Yep. And
then how are you playing a playlist and walking away? Oh, I can't stand it.
Let me say this. No. That should not be happening.
Stand it. Where are you going? How's the next song playing? What are you doing? Like, what are we doing right now? Like, I can't stand no DJ to be playing no music and be all outside and having a great time outside and the music is on a set playlist. Like,
so let me tell you,
I wouldn't even pay my DJ if I was that owner.
I'm not that type of DJ. I'm not doing that. Like, so some DJs, and like I feel like this is okay. Using it to like open, like ain't nobody there. Like, you know, like, hey, like let me just get, you know, set for the night. Let me get my drink, my hookah, whatever, you know, whatever they do. I'm gonna play 30-minute mix, whatever. But when you see people start coming in, you gotta turn that shit off. And you have to start like DJing. Because like now you have to play for your crowd who's in front of you. You got a mix playing and they don't want to hear that, but it's convenient. Like, no, like I'm not doing that. I'm sorry.
And even if they up there DJing, I know what song is being played next because I know their playlist. I know they set playlists. Like it don't make no sense to me because it's too much music in the world for you to play the same songs. Just like, so I had shared a DJ saying that yes, we are gonna play older music earlier in the night. Sure, this is not. I said, and I don't see anything wrong with playing older music earlier in the night. But I don't have to hear the same. We don't have to hear the same songs from that we've been hearing. I was like, dude, the 2000s had so much music. You don't have to play the same Watch My Shoes. You don't have to play the same Trill Fam songs. You don't have to play the same Cash Money songs. Yes. They got too much. It's too much music. That's why I like when you and Nick Stokes DJ, I'm like, dude, they know how to go inside of the music of the albums and actually play different songs. Like,
you know what's crazy? But you know what's crazy? Like me and him, like we'll have conversations about like our music taste or like you know when we listen to music like on our own, we like in the car or at home or whatever. our palette is just so deep. Like I've always listened to like so much shit. Like, and I feel like it's because like I have older siblings, so like I know what they listening to. Or I was listening to what they was listening to, and like all three of my siblings like listen to different stuff. So like again, my oldest brother playing like the East Coast hip hop from the 90s, early 2000s, whatever. My other brother, he playing like more hood music. So like I'm hearing like some of the Milwaukee, like the Cuckoo Cow and the Baby Drew. My sister listening. Me and my sister, I have a sister that's 4 years older than me. Okay. She playing like Pretty Ricky and
so you had all different.
I had all different types. Yeah, and on top of that, I'm also when I hear something I like or if I discover an artist, and I've been like this since I was a kid, I'm deep diving. Yeah. Like I also grew up on the internet, so like LimeWire and getting the viruses. Yeah. I was putting the viruses on the computer. Bear share. I was a
CD queen.
Come on.
CDs. Burning CDs. Like I got so many statuses. Like let me burn this tank CD. I'm like, why is my status saying burn this tank CD? Well, I used to burn all my friends' CDs. Teezy mix one. Yes, it was just too many. CDs.
My mom just moved maybe a couple years ago, and like I was helping her get stuff together. She got CDs from that I made when I was in like the 4th or 5th grade, and I said like Alice mix #1 or #2, and I'm like,
I'm just you still got these? How are people DJs and they not even listening to new music? So I've even had or been around DJs. I had to switch up DJs because of them not playing the newer songs too. Like, how are you not playing nothing new? How don't you think we don't know help me and stuff like that? No, we know all of that shit. Yeah. Like just because I'm 40 don't mean we don't know.
Don't mean that you don't want to hear that.
Yeah, we know D-Lo them. We know them.
And y'all want to hear them.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, I do want to hear a little old Cash Money mix, but I do still want to hear some Boss Man D-Lo here and there. I want to hear Glorilla now. Yeah. I'm like, dog, how old y'all think? Dude said, we just want to hear like everything that I do be all about. I just be listening like, dog, is this Reggie Brown? Questions? Nah, for real, like, cause I have been going out for a long time, like, so I'll be like, dang, we still in question sometimes because they never bringing it up to speed. And then I've heard a DJ say like, they don't want to hear that. I'm like, who don't want to hear that? Yeah. Like,
so what I do be saying to people, and somebody actually just made a Facebook status a couple of days ago saying like, oh man, like where can you go to hear like some of these artists? And it was like some alternative R&B artists and like a couple like hip hop artists and stuff. And like what I've noticed is like sometimes when I am trying to play newer stuff, so it depends.
Depends on the crowd for sure.
It depends on the crowd, but also depends on where they heard this music from. Yeah. A song that people be hearing on TikTok, they only know
because of
of TikTok. They only know that part of the song.
Yeah, from TikTok.
They know 13 seconds of the song.
That's true, because you can't, honestly, so like, I always go to Social X events.
Okay, yeah.
And if you go to Social X events, you ain't in there playing Help Me and all of that stuff. And if you do, you got to cut it. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't that type of crowd.
Yeah, you got to pay for your audience.
You got to know your crowd. And I've been in there with Nick Stokes, and he'll see me in there. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that's my shit. But he got to cut that shit because at the end of the day, that's not that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But he going to do him for sure. But he know that the crowd. I see you DJ for that type of event. Y'all know y'all crowd. Yeah. So, and I respect it. I mean, it is what it is. But I just be like, I just hate when DJs just don't have a variety of music, because how can you not listen to music?
That's true.
How are you a DJ and not listening to no music? Like Boogie always on top of the new music. Yeah. Like even the new artists, even Milwaukee artists. Like I've always heard him play newer artists. Even like my husband music. Like he'll mix him in there. Yeah. Like, I'm like, damn, that's dope. Like, I can't believe you know this, but that's somebody that's actually at home, like,
doing the work,
working on
the craft.
You gotta work on your craft.
You have to, because as a DJ, if you are doing the same thing over and over, like me personally, I'm gonna get bored. Yeah, and like I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like the venues will say like, hey, like, you know, like you said, you can't play certain stuff. Yeah. Or like, hey, like tone it down.
I can't stand that.
You know, whatever. I'm not one that likes to be censored. I'm gonna tell you that. Like I understand it and like, all right, whatever. Like I do like to push the needle a little bit. Yeah. But like if I'm getting paid and y'all like paying the big bucks and like y'all that are paying me to do a certain thing.
And if Teezy Talks is paying their DJ, don't tell my DJ what to play. I don't play that. I do not play that. I remember when Nick Stokes told me, one of our club people told him not to play certain songs. I said, who paying you? I said, nuh-uh. You play whatever you want. We are paying you. I don't play that. I'm like, unless he's paying you, I don't understand how you gonna tell you what to play. We paying you.
You'll be surprised. So some of the things will be like, hey, like, you know, we just don't want this, or
we
like,
ain't even got that crowd though.
This. Yeah.
It depends on. I guess it is. If you had that crowd, I can see. Like, it depends on where you at. Like, if you got a crowd that's gonna be boxing, tussling.
But also, I feel like some people think that like they can do our job better than us as DJs, and like it be people who are not DJs. Like it's not just playing music, and a lot of people like, man, you just up there playing, press and play or whatever. I promise you, I'm not up there just up there press and play. Like it's so much more than that. Like I'm literally looking at my crowd,
mixing everything.
Yeah, so like it's so much stuff that be going on. Like I'm mixing, I'm looking at the crowd to try to figure out, okay, what am I playing next? Mm-hmm. Where do I think they want to go? Like that'd be my main thing. If I'm if I'm such in the bag, I'm like, okay, I've already like played a lot of like stuff like this. Like for example, if I'm playing a lot of twerking music, like people gonna twerk, we gonna get tired. So it's like, all right, where do I want to go after this? Like where do I think they want to go? I have to. I'm in charge of that. Yeah. Like I make or break the night,
and that's hard, especially now. I used to be the aux core girl, but now I be like, I don't know what they want to hear.
I don't know what y'all. And I also feel like that. I feel like sometimes there is really no one central place where people hear music anymore. Like you know how everybody listens to the radio, or watch 106 in Park. Yeah. If you watch 106 in Park every day, everybody in. It was a very widespread show where a lot of people was watching, especially a lot of Black people. Everybody knew what the top 10 songs was, you know. Now it's like all of this stuff is like being altered. And I'm not saying back then wasn't, because like, you know, you got labels pushing artists or whatever. Yeah. But now it's like you can just pay and like, okay, you got number one single, like, you know, or you can pay and now you number 2 on the TikTok charts or whatever. And it's like, I don't know. I call it sometimes some of the music now. I call it microwave music because it don't last.
Yeah,
like it's very
when
quick.
TikTok was gonna get shut down, I was scared for a little bit. For some of the artists,
they were scared too. They like, what are we gonna do?
Like y'all hating. I'm like, how we hate? What's gonna happen now?
Yeah, I call it microwave music though because it's like think about the longevity of a song for real. Yeah, artists used to put it. If an artist put out 2 projects in a year, like that's crazy. Like DMX putting out 2 albums in like 1 calendar year. Everybody like, oh my God, what? That's monumental. Now it's like, if you ain't putting out 2 albums a year, where you at? What you doing? Why you not doing this, man?
Damn, there was for the cancel, Lil Baby. Like, where the music at?
Man, Lil Baby fell off. I'm like, damn, wait a minute, what?
Right, made him drop that album. I'm like, all right, I don't know if he was ready, but.
And I was just talking to somebody about this. I can't even remember what I was talking about, but I want to say it was another DJ or somebody in music. But I was saying, like, I can remember as a kid, like, this is very random for me to remember, but Nelly dropped Nellyville. Mm-hmm. Nelly did not drop the deluxe to Nellyville until damn near the whole next year. Yeah. And it came with new singles. The remixes had, like, different
They don't even give us a chance to know the damn.
I'm like, why the fuck is your deluxe coming out 3 days later? I don't know any of the songs on the album.
What's going on?
Why y'all already doing this? Why you putting out a remix and like the beat is exactly the same? Your verse the same. Like all you doing is just adding somebody on it. Like
wow,
lazy for real. Very lazy.
Yeah, I don't like it. We be talking about that a lot too, because I really been going back listening to old albums, like old rap. I'm like, dog, this music from back in the day is nothing like what we listening to
nothing.
now. I low key hate it now.
Even like some R&B stuff, and same.
Yeah.
Like even some R&B stuff that I listen to, I just be like hella potential.
Yeah.
But like, where the backgrounds at? Where the harmonies?
Yeah.
Like I listen to a Brandy album. She's doing backgrounds, harmonies, her own main vocals, the whole nine. And like then I hear like a lot of these airy like singers, like very like soft tone. I'm like, no, I need first of all.
I like sounding like it's not done.
Yeah, and I be feeling like I seen Jermaine Dupri say something where he was saying like R&B is like in the state that it is because like people aren't singing in the church anymore. And
go
to church.
Like y'all ass church.
Practice your voice for the choir and in front of the congregation. Like please, like I'm a lot of my favorite like singers and like singers that I like to listen to. Like I could tell like they grew up in church. They sung with like, you know, older people who had like very mature voices, like very loud, like very powerful voices. Yeah. Like I don't get a lot of that now. And it's just like it's kind of boring to me. So sometimes I do like you said, I go back and listen to old stuff and I'm just like, dang.
This was good.
Yeah. But then I also, what I've been doing like kind of lately, I like to go listen to live albums from like older artists. So like I just listened to a Curtis Mayfield like live album. I listened so good.
All that music was so good. I'll be listening to Al Green and stuff like that. Like it's just, I'm like, oh, this stuff meant something.
And think about like what they were doing music with. They didn't have all of this like technology and extra stuff, and it was sounding good as hell. Like it was sounding it didn't have to sound full like with instrumentation and like electronic like altering whatever. It was their voice that was really like sounding like full and powerful.
Did you watch Luther?
I did not watch Luther yet.
It was so good.
It was good, and I'm a huge Luther
fan. I couldn't believe the stuff that he did and didn't want to be his own artist. Just being a background singer and a writer for people. Just being content with that. And people was like, what are you doing?
Like, no, you need to be in the front.
And he was like, I'm good with this. I'm good with this. And people didn't even want to pick him up with his first single. And it was so good and it was different.
Was it Never Too Much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did see that story where they were saying like, oh, like people passed on it. I'm like, y'all passed on Never Too Much?
I didn't know that he sung with, who was the white guy in the beginning? That's how he really was put on. I forgot his name. Very famous white guy that sings, but he ended up being with him first.
Okay.
But it was a really good story. Really good. I hate that they made I didn't know they made everything about his weight though. Like every interview.
I didn't know. So when I go back and look at like sitcoms from the 90s, they like Fat Luther, Skinny Luther.
Yeah. So and he brought it up in his in the documentary too. They brought it up when he when Eddie Murphy did it. Okay. He said the bucket of chicken or something. Okay. And I guess he did a concert and came out with a like KFC little thing trying to be funny because Eddie was in the
was an audience.
Yeah. So he used to try to downplay it, but I guess he was a very emotional eater. But it's a really good watch.
I'm a watch.
I was very emotional watching it, like, oh my God, this is really good. But I love like singers and stuff, documentaries. But it was real good. But yeah, they don't make any of the albums like they used to at all. Like I like stuff like like I always bring this up, but Jasmine Sullivan has a great
album. My God, love Jasmine Sullivan.
Yes. I was like, so now this, like we was talking about what albums now would be a classic, and I was like, Jasmine Sullivan would definitely, that Hotels is gonna be a classic. That's a great album. Okay, I got something to invite you to. Okay, because we got something coming up with that album. So I'm excited. That's I was like front to back, deluxe too. I was gonna say deluxe too. Yeah. And I feel like nowadays it's stories and everything. I loved it. I love a concept album. Those are honestly like my favorite type of albums. Like where I can listen top to bottom and you telling me a story. Like you don't have any unnecessary like skits or anything like that. Everything is very like it means something. It went with the song. I was like, oh, this is very put together. Very relatable. Everything was like, and to the point where it's like I don't even be wanting to like
skip the interviews. Like I want to hear the interview before the song.
I'm like, she did what now? Like when the dude, he was salty because the girl was doing him like he did girls before on the roster song. I was like, oh, he's salty. He was like, no, I ain't like it. I'm like, I bet you didn't. But do people put you and Nick like against each other or anything?
They try to, but like y'all one thing, though, right? And one thing about us, like we solid, like we don't even get into any of that. Like I don't indulge any of that when people try to say that, like because I also realize like being in this industry, people gonna say like what you want to hear. People be like, man, you going crazy. Like, I think you better than him, whatever. And then go him. Man, you going crazy, man. You better than Gilly. Whole time we just like, we don't even give a fuck for real. Like we are just making this money. Like we love what we do. Like we love like art craft. And it's really like weird to me when I feel like people do it because it's like, what you gain? I get it, right? Like, okay, you may have a favorite, whatever, but like what you get, like coming to me and like trying to tell me or coming to him to tell him and thinking that we're gonna say, are you thinking we finna be like, yeah, man, like we is like,
do y'all have little friendly competitions?
It ain't like competition. It's more like we're competitive, but I don't think it's to the point where it's like, oh man, like I got this opportunity, like you ain't get it, or like I went crazy today, like you ain't go crazy. It's more of like when we DJ, especially when we DJ together, like it's like, oh okay, like damn, he did that fire ass set, like that's what you are. Okay, I gotta match your energy, and like it just
challenging each other.
And it just leads to like both of us being better. So like
that's crazy. I don't think I ever seen or heard of this.
Really?
A couple DJ?
It's cool. Like I like it because like I understand the lifestyle. He understands the lifestyle. Like I don't have to explain like, hey, I'm leaving right now. I'm not gonna be back till 2 a.m. because I have to go to work. Like, and he don't have to explain that to me. Like we work very well together. We work very well separately. And one thing that I really love is like, not only have we built a name like together, but we have built our name separately where like we both will get very like big opportunities separately. And I love being able to go and support him and like just kick my feet up. I'm not DJing. I'm off of DJ mode. I'm support girl. I'm supportive girlfriend.
Like you came to Mango.
I'm supportive girlfriend and he ordered me a breakfast sandwich. So I'm getting food and I'm supportive girlfriend. But like it's cool to be able to support him, and like when I do stuff, like especially if he's not DJing, like he's coming to support. It's a very cool dynamic, I will say, for sure. Especially because like this industry, at least for me, like it's not easy. Like it's not easy. Like you get a lot of like you can get caught into the nightlife, and I like see people get caught in nightlife in so many different ways. Where it's like.
But I be telling them like, I ain't hosting every night. I'm hosting at a club every night.
Like I want to be at home. Like being at home.
I got a kid.
Yeah, and like we don't have any kids, but it's just like I fucking like being at home. Like I work to like live a good life, and like I want to travel. I don't want to just be in the club or like being out all the time. Like I really do like to. Like have my like me time because it is also just it can be, I should say, very draining sometimes to be around a lot of people. You around a lot of different energy, a lot of different people's like what they got going on in their life and stuff like that. So it can be a little draining for me where people come up and want to talk all the time. I don't ever have like a moment to myself or want to talk to me while I'm DJing or transitioning the song.
Ain't that the worst?
I'm like, please, like I'm literally. And people don't understand, like, when, even before I'm transitioning the song, if I'm picking a song, I have a song that's playing, that's in my headphones. And I also have another song playing that y'all can't hear yet, that I'm trying to preview to see if these two songs, if I want to go there. So, like, people will come up and try to have full-blown conversation. It was crazy, like, now I can talk and be like, oh, okay, yeah. And I can still do it at the same time, but man, when I first started, I was like, hold on, like, give me 1 second. I need to figure this out. So it's
and they don't stop.
No, hell no. They don't stop. They definitely don't stop.
They don't stop.
But I feel like boundaries are like important, and I'm very firm on like establishing my boundaries. I'm not like, if I don't want to do something or I don't feel comfortable doing something, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, when you told me no to that mic, I remember. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, damn, she told me no. I was cracking up like, she told me no to March Madness.
Teezy, come back on Sunday. I'm gonna play March Madness.
I was cracking up.
I'm like, Teezy, come get the mic.
Was Foreman's your first nightclub?
Foreman's was my first like gig on Water Street.
Like,
and probably one of my first like bar club gigs in the city for sure. And I was crazy. It was literally a week before everything shut down for COVID. Okay. It was so crazy because I had wanted to DJ at Portman's.
You've been there ever since?
I was awful. I was like, I wasn't in the regular rotation. So like I would fill in maybe like 1 or 2 Saturdays like every couple months or whatever for somebody or something like that. And I think it was because at the time I was living in Madison still. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when I did move back, like I was doing like 1 or 2 Saturdays every once in a while.
Foreman's used to humble the shit out of me. You hear me? Did not get in. I remember when Foreman's used to be cracking. Like I couldn't get in. I'm like, how am I not able to get in? I'm like, they must not know me.
No.
I used to be cracking up. Like, I went on Facebook, like, you know what? Foreman's don't give a fuck who you are. They ain't letting you in. Somebody was like, they'll humble your ass real quick. I said, I swear to God, I'd be like, fuck it, I'm finna just know the truth.
I done seen people like, they be like, man, like, come on, man, what's up?
Yeah.
Like, but no, like, I was doing that every once in a while, but then we started getting into like I started getting into regular rotation, and Nick wasn't even DJing at the time yet. Then we started DJing together on Sundays after doing one of the bartenders, Kamisha. We did her. She decided to have a day party on Sunday. Portman's wasn't even, I don't even think they weren't doing anything during the day, but I don't even remember if they were open or not. Or maybe they was open, it was just like a passive like happy hour type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember we used to go in there regular and sit down and get us a hookah and just chill.
She had the day party and like had us DJing. It was a line like down the street, like all the way to like the end of the Water Street where you've been to turn by the Water Street Brewery, like long line.
From then on,
it was cracking, and it was one of them things where it was just like, damn, like we really did this. Like all these people are here to like turn up with us, and
Sundays got the cracking.
It was up from there for real.
Yeah,
that was when I was just like, okay, like it's clicking, and it was cool to be able to like cultivate that. With Nick too, because it was like that was our first time like DJing together.
When did he start DJing?
So
after you?
I'm gonna let him tell his own story because like it's very unique to him. But he taught himself how to DJ back in maybe 2017, 2018, maybe or sometime around there. But we weren't in a relationship. Like he was not even living here. And he taught himself how to DJ. Yeah. I taught myself how to DJ, but like he had just kind of like stopped, like working and like whatever. And then when we started dating again, we would be going out, and he would be like, "Man, like," and I knew that he had like a background of like DJing, and like he would be like, "Man, like I would do that if I was, if I was up there," and I'll be looking at him like, "Get up there, like you know what you're doing, like what's up." He'd be like very like, like, oh no. But I always really like, I get a lot of people that be like, man, teach me how to DJ. Like,
do you teach people?
No. Like, and it's really because like, I don't be feeling like.
I told Bam I want to learn how to DJ.
Yeah, I feel like if somebody is like real serious and they like, hey, like I've already done my research and like, I did all of this stuff already. Like, I need help doing this, or like, can you tell me this?
Right.
Like, I don't mind doing that. I will share my journey.
But I'm not finna start you from
the beginning because honestly, like, I really learned off YouTube. Like, I don't know, like, how to like sit down and do that because I literally just put my hands on the platters and like figured it out. And I really honestly feel like that is the best way to learn. Like having your own journey it's you gonna want to work for it more versus me. I've had people say like, "Hey man, can you give me your whole library?" Hell no! Like these are songs that I took the time to download.
Your whole library.
My whole library. Can you give me your whole library and then hell no, I'm not giving you my whole library. And now I really don't even want to teach you because you only want to do the work.
Your work, right?
Like you ain't even doing the work. You just want me to sit here and give you everything that I've worked hard to do. And like I said, I don't mind.
I hate that though. Like I don't understand that. Like when people just be wanting everything you worked so hard for. I don't get that. I'd be like, dog, you built something from the bottom up.
Yes. And on top of that, like I'm the type where it's just like, especially with DJing, like you don't want to cut corners because like
you're gonna be filed.
Yeah, you're gonna be filed.
You're gonna be filed like these playlist people.
I don't want nobody saying, "Oh man, Gilly told me how to DJ." Hell no, she did. No. I didn't do that. Yeah, no. I was not part of that at all. So yeah, I will share my journey, but like as far as like teaching, sitting down, like no, not for real.
So Unfinished Legacy named you as one of the top 10 people that rep Milwaukee, like the identity and everything. So how did you feel about that? I think that was dope.
That was super dope for me. Like super dope. I was, first of all, when they hit me up about like doing it, they hit me up about it like, oh man, like just come shoot, be part of this, like, you know, this campaign. Then when I was all right, bet. Like I worked with them very heavily with a lot of stuff. Like we did our Halloween party together this past year. And like they really like my homie. So when they hit me up, I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll come and do it. And when I got there, they was like, okay, like we finna do an interview. And I'm like, what are we doing an interview for? They like, dude, like we're like naming you this and like this is what it is. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? Yeah. And it meant so much to me because I am who I am because of Milwaukee. Like I tell people, Milwaukee, we different for real. We got grit, we got grind, we got hustle, and I learned all of that from the city. And I saw the difference. I know like Madison is not that far, and it's like a very different pace like than Milwaukee, but I seen like it wasn't a lot of hustle and bustle. It was a lot of people like just trying to be the first to do stuff. And I don't want to say I understand, but like I was empathetic. Like, okay, like very small, like Black community over here. Everybody want to be first, whatever. But in Milwaukee, it was like, nah, like we want everybody to be on, but we all hustling. Like we hustlers here. Yeah. So like I learned all of that from the city. Like I developed Gems Only because I wanted to bring some. I think Gems Only is like my love letter to Milwaukee. Like here, this is something from my heart, literally to y'all. Like so to have like that be recognized with something that I taught myself how to do, and like I just took a leap of faith and like decided to jump off the porch and say like, fuck it, I'm gonna be a DJ and I'm about to do this. Like that was very like cool to me. It was very humbling to me for sure.
Yeah, I thought that was dope. I was like, oh, that's dope. Unfinished Legacy. And their clothes are dope as well. So
yeah, their clothes are dope.
I'm a big fan of their clothing. They're I was like, and you always wear a lot of Unfinished Legacy.
Yes. And what's crazy is the way that I kind of start like being down with them is I literally was just genuinely buying the clothes and like, I really fuck with y'all, what y'all doing in y'all movement from one of their very first drops. Yeah. And I think they seen that. And I was a very genuine supporter. Like I don't put my name behind or like support anything that I'm like not 100% behind. And I was all for their like mission of like, you know, being able for having everybody to be able to like, you know, spread their wings and fly and like do their thing. Like that's very much so me. So I thought that was cool, and I'm glad that I'm able to still be in partnership with them after so many years now.
Yeah, because I think he was in LA.
Yeah, they moved. Right? They moved to LA.
Yeah, I had ordered a shirt when he was in LA, and then I saw that he said he was going to open up again back in Milwaukee. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be dope. And then he just blew up,
man,
took off again.
For real.
I was like, wow. Yeah, but his clothing, I just love it. It's one of a kind. Like I feel like like the jersey thing. Everybody at Summerfest had on the jerseys. I was like, damn. But I felt like me and Hayes had our jerseys first. We had the white one with the red. So I had the first OG one. Yeah, I had the OG one. So I was like, okay, I ain't got the one everybody else got. But me and Hayes, I remember we bought he was at he had did a pop-up somewhere, and he had the red and white ones only at first.
Oh, wow.
And that was first. So
you I got the OG.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, we got the old ones.
When we went to New York, when was this? Maybe last year sometime, maybe even a year before. Actually, 2 different times we went to New York. We seen somebody with a Unfinished Legacy shirt. And us being from Milwaukee, we like, man, let me get a picture of you in the shirt so we can, oh man, this is from our hometown. They like, man, come on, hurry up, get a picture of the shirt. Like, but we like, man, we're excited about it. So it's cool to be able to see them like just grow from where I saw them start from.
Yeah. And you DJ'd out of town plenty of. Yeah. Where have you DJ'd at?
New York, Chicago. Those are my 2 right now that I can think of. Yeah.
So when they asked you to come from New York, what was it like? They just heard you before or what? So
somebody actually came to Portman and seen me and Nick DJing, and he was like, hey, like, I think that this vibe will be dope at Dumbo House, which is one of the Soho houses in it's actually in Dumbo, New York, but it's like Brooklyn, New York. And we was like, all right, let them know that we're down if they're down. Yeah. So they hit him up. The dude hit us up and was like, hey, like, we want y'all to come out and do it. We went out, we killed it. Like, it was crazy. It's a very different type of vibe at Dumbo House. The vibe there is you'll hear a lot of howls. New York scene is very open. And New York is actually one of my favorite places to DJ because they're so open. Like, I can play Afro beats, I can play hip hop, I can play R&B, I can play like edits of stuff, and like they fucking with all of it. They dancing no matter what.
I like that you're a very versatile DJ. Though.
Thank you.
You are, because I heard you do it like I said, the rooftop.
Yeah.
You had to play, all
totally
type
different
of music.
Stuff. Yeah.
So I was like, nah, she know how to cater to the crowd.
Yeah. For sure. That's really what I feel like my strong suit is. Like I love being able to get reactions from people, and not in a way where they like, man, like you dope, like where it's not all about me. More so like I love hearing people say, man, I ain't heard this in a long time. Or I love people come up to me and be like, man, I ain't never heard a DJ play this ever. Like I listen to this at home all the time, because that is the feeling that I'm trying to evoke from you. Like, I want you to feel like that because I want you to feel good. After you done heard a song that you ain't heard in a long time, you probably like, oh, I ain't, or a song you've never heard out, you don't expect to hear out. So
B-sides.
Yeah, the B-sides. I love a good like deep cut. So yeah.
For sure. So being from Milwaukee, if you got offered a full-time DJ gig for someone that you really that you admired, would you leave and take that DJ gig and go on tour and leave Milwaukee with that person?
Would I be coming back? Or I'm gone?
Well, would you move, basically, too?
So right now, I would say no.
Okay.
And I feel like it's because like I just feel like it's so much more that I want to do like for Milwaukee and contribute to Milwaukee that I feel like I don't want to like leave permanently at this time.
You wouldn't leave permanently.
No,
but
I will go though.
You would.
I am gonna go on tour. I am gonna go to different cities, but because it's like kind of no different than like when I am going to New York or if I am going to Chicago to DJ. Like I'm going out there, I'm DJing, and I'm going home. So it's a little different, but relocating like permanently right now, I still feel like it's still a little bit more work to be done. And I still feel like I'm young where I still want to be able to impact the community. And I feel like I'm at an age where I can relate to some older like people, and I can also relate to some younger people. So like right now I'm at a spot where I feel like I can be the most impactful. Yeah. So I don't think that's the time for me to leave and be like, all right, man. Yeah. At least now.
You got a lot going for yourself right now.
Yeah.
Especially with the Bucks.
Yeah. I love the Bucks.
Yeah.
I really genuinely love Milwaukee though.
Yeah.
Like I love the city. Like some of the stuff people be like, oh man, everybody gonna complain, whatever.
Yeah.
But I've been a lot of places and like ain't no place like Milwaukee for real.
For sure. Every time.
For real.
Everybody be like, would you consider leaving? And you could probably take off somewhere doing this and that. I'm like, well, don't nobody show me love like the Mill.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm like, when I look at my views and who've been listening, it's the Mill really. Like, mainly the Mill is who gave me all my plays, gave us all our plays, our listenings on SoundCloud and all of that. Like, it's Milwaukee. Yeah. I'm like, so why would I up and just hit it like Atlanta and then I got to start again? Yeah. Start all over. Build a whole nother crowd.
Exactly. So, and not even just that. Like, I feel like along with like me feeling like, oh man, like I got so much work that I still want to do in Milwaukee. I feel like Milwaukee has poured so much into me. Yeah. Where it's like, it would be a total slap in the face to people who have supported me from day one. Of course, I feel like people would support me if I'm like, hey, I'm leaving, I'm moving and relocating. Yeah. But like for the people who message me and say like, damn Gibby, like, thank you for creating like a safe space for us. Or like we only come to your events or stuff that you are doing because we know that we're gonna be good. Like we can be ourselves. We know we're gonna hear good music. Like that would be a disservice now if I leave because now like they not gonna feel like that anymore. Right. And I know eventually like it's probably gonna get to a point where I'm gonna feel like, I'll probably want to relocate and like try something new. I've actually never lived outside of Wisconsin before. So like, so it's just like
that's probably why I'm like, it's not. But I'm like, no, I ain't never lived nowhere else for sure. Like, I don't know. Yeah. But I get messages from people from out of town. Like, it look like y'all be having Milwaukee cracking. Yeah. I would come back, at least make one of y'all events. Like,
would you think about taking Teezy Talks, like the like events that y'all do? Would you think about taking them to other places?
Yeah, so I do want to do that.
Okay,
especially I can see for our 10 years. So we coming on 8 years. So I told them I want to start planning the 10-year, like to either Houston or Atlanta, and then having something for that weekend for our 10-year anniversary.
Or both of them. Yeah, 2 different weekends. I can see y'all thriving in both places. So
especially because, and I picked those 2 places because we have a huge Milwaukee fan base. Okay. But we know a lot of people from Milwaukee that's in both of those places too. So I just feel like it'll be all love either way. But I don't know. I don't have a problem with like venturing out to other places, but as far as like just picking up and hitting it just because of some certain thing that I'm doing, I wouldn't just up and leave like that. Not in the middle of something that I've got going on.
I also be feeling like because like people will come up all the time and say the same thing, like, man, like you went to New York, or man, y'all go to New York so much, like, I might as well move out there, or man, you in Chicago. And I am in Chicago a lot. Like, I'll get my car right now and drive to Chicago just because I want a good Italian beef.
I was about to say, that's cool to do that now.
Like, I'll jump in my car and I'll food. Yes, like, I will do that. Yeah. But, like, it's just not in me right now. Like, I just don't want to do that. Yeah. At least not right now.
Yeah. So when you, for y'all like anniversary and stuff, I noticed that y'all always like make time for each other. Do y'all just take the time and say, this is the dates we gonna take off, and y'all just take off for the whole week and y'all?
So we mutually have a couple days off together. So like the first like Mondays and Tuesdays we off. So if we do plan a trip, we'll go like towards the beginning of the week because the weekends, that's the money making, time. That's the time. So unless it's something like that we want to attend that's on the weekend, then we'll try to figure that out or whatever. But for the most part, we just like,
that's good. Y'all both understand that though. Like the money is on the weekend, so we gonna do this trip Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
And like I don't even mind like not doing stuff on the weekend. And I don't know why, but I feel like when we travel during the first couple days of the week, like when we just went to Jamaica for our anniversary, and it wasn't super packed. Like we got a chance to really like enjoy the resort we was on. We got a chance to like be like sit down at the restaurants, whereas like if we went on the weekend, we got to deal with long lines. We got to deal with like a whole bunch of stuff we probably like didn't want to deal with or have to deal with. People surging the prices for like travel.
During the week stuff too.
Yeah. For real. So yeah, we definitely take time for ourselves. We do a lot. We go on hella dates and like especially during the day, we'll go and like have lunch or like let's go here. When we first started dating, we was in Chicago all the time. Yeah. So I like the fact that we do make time for each other. Like
me too.
It ain't
I
always
like that y'all do that. I be like, look at them, man, look at them. They intimated together. They done took some time off
because we work really hard, and I think like I don't mind playing hard because I know how hard we work. Like I don't go to every gig with him. He don't go to every gig with me. But like we debrief. Like sometimes I be at gigs, I'm texting him while I'm DJing. Like, man, this going on, that's going on. Yeah. Or like, man, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with that. We work hard. Like,
and y'all gotta miss all the other events that y'all probably be wanting to go to.
Because we gotta DJ, right? Yeah. So yeah. But yes, we definitely make time for each other, and I like that, and I appreciate it because it's like I said, this industry is not easy. Like it's very easy to like get lost in the sauce and caught up in a whole bunch of like devices and stuff like that. Yeah. But like I feel like we balance each other out, and we like provide that structure of like, hey, like on these days, this is our date day. Yeah, we have a specific date day where like if somebody want to do something, we like, no, man, that's date day. Like, sorry. So
that's dope. Okay, so I have this or that game.
Okay.
And you just tell me which one you prefer.
Okay.
Out of this. So, heels or sneakers?
Sneakers.
Outgoing or in the crib? Now I know.
In the crib.
Makeup or natural?
Natural.
Social media or no social media if you had to actually choose? Like as far as if you didn't have a choice not to
social media. Oh, like if I didn't have a choice, or if I did.
If you had a choice to not be on there, because you got.
Yeah, I gotta be on there.
Would you prefer not to? Like, do you?
No, I'm gonna say social media. I'm gonna say social media.
Okay. Long hair or short hair?
Long
hair. Spades or Uno?
Uno.
Okay.
I do know how to. Okay. So this is the thing. I got a disclaimer with spades. I do know how to play spades, but I feel like every time I sit down and play, not a fight, it's a different damn rule. Where I'm like, wait a minute, how y'all do this? Wait, I thought that you do. They be like, no, it's this and that, and we playing no jokers. When everybody start doing that, I'm like,
okay, yeah.
Put me on the side. I'm gonna watch y'all, but I can't play dominoes. Like I would do dominoes, but spades,
spades. Only thing about spades for me is I'm serious. Like, I don't really play games when it comes to spades. Like, so I don't really like to play with people because it gets real serious. Like if you're not a serious spade player, don't play.
They gonna get real like sad or mad at you.
Yeah. Okay. Don't be like, if you don't really know how to play, don't play with me. So it's like we talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
In spades. So like
spades is
I'm a real spades player. I've been playing since I was like 8.
Spades is really a loud game too. Like I feel like it's like bam, and I'm like, oh, okay.
It gets real heavy.
So yeah.
So, okay, rap or R&B?
R&B.
Drake or Kendrick?
Kendrick.
Jim Jones or Cameron?
Oh. Damn, that's a tough one. I'm going Cameron, but I do like Jim Jones.
Okay. You got Cam. I got Cam too.
Yeah.
Especially if they was rapping against each other.
If they're rapping against each other, for sure. Yeah.
Cardi or Meg?
Meg.
Okay. Beanie Siegel or Jadakiss?
Damn, that's a good one. But Jadakiss.
Okay. Okay. Best verse on What We Do Is Wrong. Even though what we do.
Oh, I thought you was gonna give me options. Okay.
Yeah. Freeway, Jay-Z, or Beans?
Freeway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people be like, nah. I'm like,
Freeway.
Free went crazy on there.
Crazy.
So, yeah, he went nuts. Okay, Chris Brown or Usher?
Usher.
Okay.
I'm going Usher.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, whoever.
Well, people love Chris Brown. I guess I'm not that big of a Chris Brown fan. I like him, but I'm not like, oh.
That's how I feel.
All over my playlist.
That's literally how I feel. Like, I feel like a lot of his newer stuff, too, is like, kind of sound the same.
Yeah.
I'll be like, damn,
I'll be like, now what's this called? It's not the same. It's not residual. Whatever it's called. Whatever. They'll be like, all right. I'm like, I don't listen to them as much as y'all. I'm definitely not listening to a 43 album. I'm like, tell me what's the good ones. I'm not listening to 43
Give me your top five.
Yeah.
Everybody give me their top
I
five.
always go to Facebook like, y'all can tell me what y'all tops. Okay, Michael Jackson or Prince?
Michael Jackson.
Okay. Jay-Z or Nas?
Jay-Z.
Jeezy or Gucci?
Gucci.
Future, Dirty Sprite 2 or Beast Mode?
Dirty Sprite 2.
Tequila or Douce?
Tequila.
White wine or red wine?
This wine that's not in here anymore was so good. So I'm going red wine.
That's that orange sangria.
Come on. What is it's an orange sangria?
Yeah, that's the one I'm giving you too. I was like, I knew she was gonna want some sweet wine.
No, that was good. That was good.
So red. Last one. New music or old music?
Old music.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody would say old music. Okay. Well, I just want to thank you for coming on. I thought we had such a great conversation.
No, for real.
We're an hour and 35 minutes in. I know we had a great conversation.
Thank you for having me though. Like this was very dope. Like also want to give you your flowers, give you and the pile your flowers. Like what y'all are doing is so cool and so dope to me. Like I do be listening. Like I think it's dope because like we get a chance to like y'all from the city. Yeah. And like you said, like man, like we have a lot of fans like here that support us. Like y'all from the city, but we get a chance to hear y'all perspective of stuff like from the city. It's a lot of people that listen and know y'all personally, grew up with y'all. Like it's very cool. It's very like conversational. Sometimes I just will listen and be like, damn, I just feel like I'm just in the room with them. So it's cool. It's cool. Y'all really set a vibe. So.
All right. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate it. You got a song you want to play? We could do a sign-out song. Any song you like?
Let's do what we do because I need y'all to know that Freeway had the best verse.
Okay, well we do. Yeah, because Freeway definitely had the best verse. They always be like, somebody just said beans. I'm like, no. I'm like, he did snap. It is one of them hard picks, but I felt like Freeway just kept flowing. Like, I'm like, well, he had it.
Yeah. He went crazy.
Yeah. I'm going to play that. But thank you guys for listening. Of course, as always, make sure y'all follow along in the group.